Hello, beautiful butterflies. I'm so excited to see you again. We're going to be talking about dinner, and I would warmly recommend to eat an early dinner. It's very healthy. It's better, much better. So, what's for dinner? If you're eating raw food, then of course it's something like salad with a little bit of fat. It can be somewhere from 10% to 20%. If you're doing fat-free cleanse, then you can make a fruit-based dressing again for dinner. But in most cases, I would recommend to make a dressing with either avocado and maybe a little bit of flax or chia seeds, or dressing with nuts or seeds, some other type. And usually I would recommend to still add a little bit of chia or flax to balance those omega-3s. And I would warmly recommend to make your salad as juicy as possible. Remember how important is hydration to feel good, to feel satisfied, to feel calm and strong in the face of your cravings. So, hydrating cucumbers, tomatoes, bell peppers, iceberg, juicy romaine lettuce. So you make a big, you can't make big enough. Just make it so it can fit in your stomach, but gradually increase, because you'll be surprised how huge of a salad can fit in your stomach. And you don't have to be afraid when you see this big bowl. If you blend it, and you can do experiment and chop up a big salad, a big bowl of salad, and then blend it up, it will be this small. It's really very fluffy. All these things are very fluffy and they're full of water. You don't have to be afraid to overeat on these juicy veggies. Now, when it comes to cabbage and carrots and beets, all the root vegetables, you can overstuff yourself much faster because they're much denser. If you feel too heavy, that is too hard for you to digest these root vegetables, you can blend them with, like I already mentioned, either avocado or some nuts and seeds. So what we put in our dressing is so crucial for satiating salad. If you just chop up these juicy veggies and eat them, you're not going to feel satiated at all, I think. But if you make this dressing with root vegetables and maybe tomatoes or bell peppers and a little bit of nuts and seeds, about 10% of the calories, up to 20%, and then you add spices or herbs that you like and maybe something salty, or you use a little bit of salt. I don't think it's bad to use unprocessed, truly unprocessed and not iodized sea salt, about 1/3 of a teaspoon. You don't have to be afraid of salt if you don't overdo it, but a little bit of salt can really help you to enjoy your dinner and to even digest it more easily. And if you really want to avoid salt altogether, then you can use some dulse. You can use celery, dried celery, to add a little bit of saltiness, and sodium is quite important. We don't want to run low on sodium because it is such crucial microelement for our body. We need sodium to function. It also helps us to feel satiated and avoid this crazy, unhealthy, salty junk foods. Now, there are other beautiful things that you can add to your salad that are not only making it more satiating, but also add flavor and nutrients. So importantly, mushrooms. Just please don't eat them fresh, because I don't know about you, but I don't like that, and most people wouldn't like fresh mushrooms. You can either marinate them or dehydrate them. You can partially dehydrate them, then it takes away this too pungent flavor. It's too strong. Then seaweeds, especially nori sheets and dulse flakes. Just be careful with adding too much kelp, because it might overload your system with iodine. We don't want too much iodine. Then of course you can make raw crackers. Just make sure that they're not too fatty, or if they're high in fat, then just add maybe 1 or 2 each meal. And you can make wraps also. There are so many fun recipes that you can make. Of course, you can, instead of a salad, you can make lasagnas, or it's very easy to make noodles, for example, with the dressing. Make it really, really fun. And we can discuss all these beautiful recipes in our later videos. Also, if you want a big kick of nutrients, spirulina or chlorella or green powders like Vitamineral Green or Vitamineral Earth are really powerful. They're really packed with nutrients. And if you decide to eat some cooked food for dinner, it's really good to still have this fresh salad first. Of course, if you don't feel like making a dressing, you don't have to, but it's a really good idea to start making at least a small salad with the dressing that is satiating, so you get used to it and your body will start learning that it can get nutrients out of this salad. And then if you want to transition to raw foods, then you can just increase the volume of the salad with dressing and then decrease the amount of cooked food gradually. And cooked food, of course, you can have steamed veggies, you can have potatoes or sweet potatoes cooked, and the cooking method, the lower the temperature, the better, because higher temperatures create things like acrylamide and other not so healthy components. So try to keep your cooking temperature low. Add a bunch of fresh veggies to your cooked meal. Try to eat fresh part of it in the beginning, and also try to keep the fat to about 10 to 20%. I would recommend to avoid oils. They're just completely void of nutrition. They're just pure fat. Also, gluten-containing foods are quite addictive for the body because gluten takes up the same receptors as opioids and creates very similar effect in our brain. So I hope this gave you some kind of idea about possible dinners that you can have. And of course, we can discuss it much more. So feel free to ask me. And I'm so excited to see you the next week. Bye!